Okay, so Chef really needs us to know these pastas.
Okay. Linguine, fettuccine, agnolotte, and...
April, Megan, come to me right now. I want you to try this Aperol Spritz. Here we go then. I want to tell you about this wonderful trip I took to Italy. And I met this incredibly gifted chef, Chef Gabriele Dali Fratta, from restaurant Scorpius in Bibione, just outside Venice. And when we arrived, it's on the Adriatic coast. And when we arrived, the first thing he did was he gave us a drink of this beautiful dish called Aperol Spritz. And this is the Aperol. This is a very bitter, wonderful, aromatic kind of beverage that has qualities that you're needing for opening your belly up to receive food. So it's like really an aperitivo. And it's finished with a little orange and a little ice, and of course, Prosecco. And it's just a wonderful, effervescent, sparkling wine. There we go. And then just straight in here.
So Chef, what was the restaurant Scorpius like?
Restaurant Scorpius, as I said, is on the Adriatic, right on the coast, so it's all about seafood. Wonderful dishes, and local produce, and local meats and poultry, like some of these pâtés and salamis and different cheeses that we have for our antipasta. So it all went down really well before we started eating some beautiful fish. Salute.
Salute.
After months of preparation and careful planning, I finally got to the airport for my flight into Milan. Myself and all the other passengers, of course, were on our way to beautiful Italy. Once in Milan, it was time for the long drive through northern Italy to the east coast near Venice. I had made it to my first stop, Bibione. Right on the coast of the Adriatic Sea, Bibione is home to Restaurant Scorpius, owned by my good friend, Chef Gabriele Dali Fratta.
Cheers.
Cheers.
What is cheers in Italian?
Chin chin.
Chin chin.
Chin chin.
After having our Aperol Spritz, a staple in the Venetian area, Chef told me about his wonderful restaurant and brought me inside his kitchen, where his head chef Simone was already cooking.
And this is the little one that's called a canestrello.
This is a mini scallop, and these are local?
In the north of the Adriatic Sea.
Sole, Dover sole?
Sole, Adriatic Sea, from Adriatic Sea.
So these are just the large shrimps?
Yep.
Is the majority of the food that you serve fish in
Yeah.
the restaurant for
Yeah.
all of your customers?
Yeah, yeah. We have 90% of fish, 10% divided from pizza and meat and pasta. But the pasta with fish.
Oh, the pasta
together,
comes
yeah.
with the fish,
Yeah.
All right, so what's he going to do with them?
It's done with the water. When it burns, when it's cooking, all the fats go down.
Ah, so it never burns.
So they burns and they create
This flavor will
this
go
flavor.
back up.
Yeah.
Simone continued to cook the sole and the large shrimp on the grill. After it was finished, he carefully prepped each one by hand, deboning them with ease, ready for presentation.
Bravo! Bravo!
After cooking, Gabriele brought out the Prosecco and let us try his incredible food. Later that day, we were back in Scorpius' kitchen, where the boys were at it again, showing us another dish.
Whoa, you can smell that.
Yeah.
Wow, that smells good.
Simone was showing me spaghetti alla carbonara, a dish with egg, pancetta, ham, and cheese. The first thing he needed from me was more pancetta.
And there's no smoke on that bacon.
No, normal.
Is it belly?
Yeah.
Piatto caldo.
Piatto caldo. Hot plate. Piatto caldo.
¿Vuoi che chiudo?
You don't put any cream in this?
No. Mi dà fastidio, chiudo il sole.
No cream, no garlic.
Ah, guarda, mi dà fastidio il sole.
Never heard of that. Is this pasta ready now?
So you see, now the temperature is going down a little
So you're
bit.
gonna leave it to come down?
Yeah. You have to wait. You have to wait a little bit.
Otherwise the egg will coagulate.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, that's fabulous. Chin chin.
Sì.
Salute.
Salute.
This is the life, man.
Coming up on Cooking with Angus.
Pizza italiano, no americana.
Sì,
Pizza
sì,
italiana.
sì, sì, sì.
My first choice for college, GRCC. Why? Because what you learn in 2 years lets you transfer to a university at the top of your game. Because what you save in tuition is worth thousands of dollars. Because the hands-on learning and academic support are second to none. Because the honors program challenges you to do your best, while student life makes you feel connected to the world. All those reasons make GRCC my first choice and the best choice.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Taught by some of the best chefs in the area.
Absolutely a wonderful night out.
I would get it as a gift.
Being able to cook something and then eat it.
It was great. I had a blast.
I love GRCC because I love Grand Rapids.
I chose GRCC because it's close to home. I can take my time to decide what I want to do with my life. I love this campus because it's an affordable way to take basic classes.
I chose GRCC because it was the best place to get reacquainted with school.
Because I love being downtown.
Because it's military friendly.
So I can pursue my dream of being a dental hygienist.
Because it offers the same educational experience as universities.
Girls, one of the most delightful things about being in Bibione with Gabriele was he invited me into his kitchen with his staff. And they were wonderful, and they taught me some amazing dishes. Some of them were just so simple and so perfect. And this one was the gnocchi. And all they are is these beautiful little potato gnocchis. And see how simple they're served. They're served on their own, poached very lightly, a tiny bit of sauce ragu. And that ragu is sitting right over the top. So you can see the yellow and you can see the ragu itself. Yes? And then we just garnish it with a tiny bit of basil, fresh basil, just like that. And then a little tiny bit of olive oil, just at the end. And a tiny bit of this black pepper. Look how perfectly simple that is.
So, Chef, what traditional meats do they use in the ragu?
The ragu and bibioni, they were using pork, beef, and turkey. Combination of all three. And it was cooked for 3 to 4 to 5 hours sometimes. So it was very, very rich. It was just a remarkable dish. So let's try this. During lunch back at restaurant Scorpius, Gabrielle made us paella, packed with seafood. It was some of the best I've ever had. And then after lunch, he was back into the kitchen for some more cooking.
All of these. See? We're going to make some gnocchi. These are Dutch potatoes, very, very waxy, and they've poached them off. There's a great saying in Scotland when you come into the kitchen in the morning, the first thing they say, especially if you're a sous chef or somebody in charge, you walk in the kitchen and the loudest voice you can, are the tatties on? Are the tatties on? You know, because you want to know if the potatoes are on, you know? If any of the chefs think that they're getting a little bit too big for their boots, you know, like a chef, you know, you go, okay, peel the potatoes. Somebody's got to peel the tatties.
Ragu is what they accompany their gnocchi with, and Simone showed me that next.
Wow. Wow, that smells good.
5 ore.
That's it. 5 ore. 5 hours. 5 hours cooking.
Okay.
I tried to get all the ingredients, and with Gabrielle off on an errand, the language barrier made it an interesting challenge.
No.
No onion?
No onion. Añado. Onion?
Onion. Carrots.
Oh.
Carrots. Celery. Celery. Basilico. Rosmarino.
Salvia.
Sage.
Non questo però. Alloro si chiama.
Laurel leaves. Buchi garni.
Yeah.
You wrap the herbs in string, you put them into the thing, you tie on the handle, and it perfumes the sauce.
Okay.
Beautiful. Check that out. A little bit of rosmarino. Isn't that beautiful?
Buono. Coperchio.
Lid. Coperchio. All right, it's a long word for a lid.
While we worked on the gnocchi, Gabrielle's father decided to show us how to make pizza, Italian style.
That's all. That's all tomatoes.
Cheese.
That's the
cheese, formaggio. Pizza italiana, no americana. Pizza italiana.
Sì.
Questa è pizza italiana.
Wow, look how simple that is. Look at the amount of sauce. It's like there's hardly any sauce in here. Pizza. Now that's a pizza. There's so little on here, and yet there's so much.
It's a little bit light.
Fabulous.
To finish the gnocchi, we used a ricer to break up the potatoes we had peeled earlier. Simone added salt and a single solitary egg. After a bit of flour, the dough was ready to be worked and turned into gnocchi.
Now they're going to marry the sauce with the gnocchi in a pan. So the sauce is going in a pan, then the gnocchis are going to go in and they're going to be tossed together. Wow. Gnocchi 101.
Gnocchi.
Grana?
Grana. E buon appetito.
Grazie.
Affare fatto.
Grazie. Oh, man. It's so simple. And the simple things in life are the best.
Coming Coming up on Cooking with Angus.
So, Chef Angus, welcome to Venice.
My first choice for college, GRCC. Why? I was ready to build a career. I traded taking notes in a classroom for hands-on learning. I found a program where I can follow my passion. What I'm saving on low tuition will pay off if I transfer to a university. And I know the skills I'm learning will build a better community. All those reasons make GRCC my first choice and the best choice.
I chose GRCC because it's close to home and I like the campus.
Because it's affordable.
Because I love the atmosphere.
Because they have a great photography program.
Because they have a great psychology program.
It has the same activities as any other college.
Because I can get my general classes out the way.
Because it's quality, affordable education.
Because it's close to home.
Because I love Grand Rapids. For medical assisting.
Because it'll kickstart my future.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Taught by some of the best chefs in the area.
Absolutely a wonderful night out.
I would get it as a gift.
Being able to cook something and then eat it.
It was great. I had a blast.
Chef, what were the predominant fish you saw on the Venetian market?
There was an abundance, but mostly small fish like this. We had sea bream, like this one here, snapper. The bigger ones are the mullets. But most of the fish that are there, they're caught in the lagoon, and some of them are very specific. I'd never seen them in my life. Even some of the shellfish I'd never seen. They were only specific to that lagoon. And of course, they're catching it out in the Adriatic, so it's a vast variety.
What is the most popular way of cooking fish like this?
We don't like to see the fish on the plate, you know, looking up at us, but over there, it's very simple. They just cut it, they cut the flesh, and then they just simply season it, and they put it on the grill. And they just cook it on a char grill until it's fully cooked, great flavor, crispy skin, and or they roast it. But, you know, they don't fillet a lot of it. They generally use it whole, which is really just something that they haven't really changed over the years. So it's really, really lovely when it's cooked like that. About an hour south of Bibione, along the coast of the Adriatic, lies Venice. A city made up of 118 small islands, connected by canals and linked by bridges. This is Gabrielle's city, and I was ready to learn its culinary treasures.
So, Chef Angus, welcome to Venice.
Thank you.
With the Venetian one.
Gabrielle, it's fantastic to be here, especially with somebody Venetian. Now, it means a lot to be Venetian.
Yeah, it's very important to be a Venetian with friends from a foreign country here, because the dialect here is changing the attitude of the people for you.
Yeah, so but which is completely different from Italian.
Yeah, it's completely another kind of language.
I noticed when we arrived, you spoke Venetian to the car park attendant, and we got in a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very much looking forward to seeing this city. It's just amazing to be here.
Yeah, the sun makes the difference.
The sun, and so let's go and check it out.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah,
let's go.
So this is a typical fruit market in the fruit and vegetable.
You can find this one in the center of the street. This is typical from the region around here, Venice.
And what about these zucchinis with the flowers? Do they?
Yeah, usually we use the two parts.
Yeah.
This one to cut, for example, for sausages or to done on the grill,
yeah,
or to done boiled as you like. But the flour one must be fried.
Deep fried?
Deep fried, completely.
The flour, and it's eaten as an appetizer? Or?
Yeah, it's an appetizer, for example, with the spritz Aperol you used yesterday.
Oh, yes.
It's a perfect connection for the feeling in your mouth.
Now, these artichokes don't have a choke in them, they're just ready, you can eat the whole thing.
Yeah. The typical of Sant Erasmus is the freshness and the very crunchy of the leaves.
Wow. Beautiful. Let's go find some more.
Okay.
So here we are in the market. This is for fish only?
Not only for the fish. This one is the zone, the original one, shining up with the columns.
The ancient one, the oldest one?
The older ones, because it was the first one near the river here. Yeah. So all the boats arrived from the sea and approaching here, coming down with the fish. Then during the years, it became for the vegetable too, the fruitable too, and the meat too.
It's got a sign. What does the sign mean?
The sign, it's the Rialto no se toca in perfect Venetian dialect. That means Rialto, you can touch it.
You can't touch it.
You can touch it.
So they have an incredible array of fish. We're just going to go and check them out.
Coming up on Cooking with Angus.
The Prosecco is something that you have to drink with the cicchetti.
My first choice for college, GRCC. Why? Because I was ready to take my future into my own hands, and GRCC gave me that opportunity. Because the money that I'm saving on the low cost of tuition, I'll use to earn my bachelor's degree. Because I'm making connections to build my career. Because while I share my ideas with other students, I'm pushed to challenge my limits by my professors. All those reasons made GRCC my first choice and the best choice.
I love GRCC because I love Grand Rapids.
I chose GRCC because it's close to home. I can take my time to decide what I want to do with my life. I love this campus
because it's an affordable way to take basic classes.
I chose GRCC because it was the best place to get reacquainted with school.
Because I love being downtown.
Because it's military friendly.
So I can pursue my dream of being a dental hygienist.
Because it offers the same educational experience as universities.
One of the things that I loved about Venice was the tradition of having a little piece of Prosecco at 12 noon. And this was something that happened all over the city, and it was served with a kind of little tiny snack which was called a cicchetti. And they came in all sorts of forms, just a bite along with a little glass of Prosecco, and then everybody would carry on about their business. Things like polenta grilled, little polpetta, which is like a meatball on a skewer, and bacala. So it was very, very popular for everybody to have these.
What exactly is bacalao?
Bacala is a cod that has been dried and then reconstituted in a little milk and pureed into a kind of mousse, and it's served in a little tiny focaccia. Yeah? So are you ready? Let's try some. Gabriele, my favorite Venetian chef, was guiding us through Venice. At noon, it was time for a snack that he called cicchetti.
So the cicchetti that we had just now was very unusual in that it was very small.
Yep.
And being that it's the noon hour, is that traditional?
It's similar for the Spanish tapas. You eat very quickly, but you can feel all the smell, all the...
Yeah, the flavors were amazing. But the Prosecco that we had with it was very refreshing too for this time of day.
The Prosecco is something that you have to drink with the cicchetti because it cleans up your mouth and give the sensation of something fresh, something very with the bubble.
It was beautiful.
One of the iconic images of Venice is the gondola, and I wanted to know from Gabriele what he could tell me about it.
So these are the typical gondolas that are in Venice all over. But you were telling me something about their shape. What is it that it's different about the classical ones?
Yeah, the classical one is different because of the shape that make a help for the driver. Because of the river is so thick, is so not so large. So when you are here in the Canal Grande, it's easy to drive.
Yeah.
But when you go inside and you have the little one, has to get some movement that the shape of the gondola helps the driver.
And it's almost like it's twisted.
Yeah, it's like twisted a little bit. It has a little bit of torque.
A little bit of torque. Yeah, it's like twisted completely. That's amazing. Awesome. Thank you.
Our last stop in Venice was outside a little pasta shop, full of really great selections.
Here are some of 1,000 different types of pasta that we have. They're making it fresh here all the time and selling it.
Maybe yes, but in this case we have the dried one that is easier to carry on and to try at home if you want it. But maybe inside we have the fresh ones.
And this one, what is this one called, do you know?
Maybe this one is the bigger tagliatella. The tagliatella, but it's the changing name. When they changed the measure of half centimeters, it became the pappardella. Pappardella. It's bigger than a tagliatella.
Now each of these suits a different sauce. Is that the way it works?
Yeah.
So if you're using like the rigatoni, you're going to have sauce that is going to go inside it.
Yeah, inside. But for example, this kind of rigatoni is not with seared up with lines. And
it's straight.
Yeah, it's straight, this one. So you can have sausages that fill it up inside and not outside.
I see.
But if it's seared up with the pasta,
if it has ridges,
you can use, for example, tomato sauces or a ragu sauces or a fish ragu white. You know.
Wonderful. What a wonderful choice.
Yeah.
Well, it was only 2 days into my trip, and I'd already seen and tasted an amazing cross-section of cooking and food. I had one of my all-time favourite refreshments, an Aperol Spritz. I ate seafood fresh from the Adriatic Sea, grilled to perfection, along with a few pastas, pizzas, and world-class gnocchi. Gabriele's kitchen was already a highlight, and of course, Venice. With its unique beauty and unending source of surprising flavours, there was no denying the Venetian area is very special.
Wow, Italy sounds like a place I'd like to go someday.
I sure wish we could go.
Don't worry about that right now. Just get back to studying your pastas.
Next time on Cooking with Angus.
We're here in Italy making gelato with Gabriele.